in the garage working on the 818 today, working on the seat brackets. I finally got more metal. So this was existing. It got bolted into place, rib nuts into the frame. This piece is new. It's just a pinch of 1-inch square tube, just like this. Just give me a sandwich there. Front piece has been fabricated and bolted in, and then this is a set of spare brackets. So the idea is you'll bring the seat, and I can't tighten those down yet, so they're walking. Bring the seat in and set it down just a little in front of the brackets, and then slide everything back, and it should slide right into place. I've got to work on that little sandwich piece under there. It tends to move a little, but other than that, this is the general theory of it. It's a lot easier when those pieces stayed in place, but this piece here will be tapped so that once the seats are in, I can reach up under it and run a bolt in there, and that will keep it from sliding side to side or coming in and out. And it can't go up and down because everything is sandwiched between here, here, and here, and that little piece I added under there and here. So hopefully this will make the seat fairly easy to get in and out. There's the driver's seat sitting over there. And the next step is to get these two crossbars transferred over to that. I had to convert these to studs because if I had left the bolt head sticking on the back, then it was going to catch on the frame here as I tried to slide it. So I had to weld the bolts on and then grind the backs off. And now I got to go back with a thread cleaner, a die, and clean up the threaded side so that it'll actually bolt down tight and stop wiggling on me. Although once I get it mounted to the seat, I guess it won't wiggle anyway, but it still rattle. So I can get the thread cleaner out, clean those up, and do a test fit on the seat. If that all works, I've got the other sides already cut. I'll get them drilled and tapped, and then all the bracket pieces will go in the powder coating oven. Get powder coated black. If I manage to get down the seats today, then I'm going to go back to trying to figure out the PCV system and get all the vacuum hoses set up on the motor. Real quick update. This will probably get appended to the last video, but I had welded studs on these braces that were going side to side. Because if I had a nut or if I had the bolt sticking out the bottom, it was hitting the X frame that's in there. So I welded a stud on and bolted it from the top, or put the nut on from the top. But the problem with that was wouldn't slide past the bolt that holds the slider to the seat. And I was in a catch-22. I needed about 2 more inches of travel. I could have tried to cut them down real short and get a nut on them to slide under, but at the end of the day, it made more sense to just weld it together. The only thing that welding it's going to hurt me on is I'm not going to be able to powder coat them. There's some plastic components in here that probably won't hold up powder coating, but I'm going to run a weld around this and then paint it with chassis black paint, and I won't have to worry about it. I'll be able to take it off, finish welding it. It's tacked. I'm going to take it off, finish welding it, clean it up, paint it with chassis black paint, bolt it back on, and it'll be good to go. I'm going to try and show off the finished seat bracket, if I can do it one-handed and hold the camera with the other. So basically you'll set the seat down. It'll be attached, obviously. You got this set so that I can see where the front of the seat would be, so you can muscle it down right there. It gives you about 2.5 inches of clearance here. So once the seat is in, you slide it back, and it will lock under there, and there. and then you can, it's locked in. Now I have to move the slider a little bit. There is there's a hole up under there. The slider's in the way right now. I'll have to move that a little bit when I get ready to actually do it, but there's a hole right there on this tab, and run a bolt in. I'll reach up on the seat and run a bolt in from the bottom, and that will bolt this frame that's attached to the seat to this piece here that's attached to the frame, and that'll keep it from being able to slide out. Here you can see the hole for the bolt, and actually, since you couldn't see it, I think it's because I was off center. Yeah, there we go. Get centered with my marks. There's my mark there, and there's right there. So I got to actually mark it and drill the hole in the cross brace. This hole right here is threaded already, so once I drill a hole in the bottom, I'll just reach up under there with a bolt, stick it through, and bolt it in. The whole thing will be locked in place. Might have to, it would have a slight possibility to twist. If I have that, then what I will do is actually put a notch in one of these, or maybe both of them, and stick a little bolt sticking up so that it slides in and then can't wiggle around. So it's unbelievable that it took me probably close to 14-16 hours all in, but the brackets are mostly done. I got to a slight modification I got to make to the passenger seat. I welded something up wrong. I'll have to cut it off and re-weld it, but that'll be a trivial task. So seats are able to be mounted now, so I can proceed with ergonomics and figure out where everything is going to sit, so that I can get back to wiring once I know where everything will be. This whole process of seats and gas tank and all that started because I wanted to mount the fuse box and brain for the electrical system behind the passenger seat, and I needed to make sure I had room. And I think I would have room, but it'd be really hard to get in there and work on it, which is what I'm trying to avoid, because the passenger seat isn't going to have any room to slide forward. So what I think I'm going to do is actually move it up. I'll make a removable panel on this firewall here and put it right here in this gap here. That way it's completely out of the way, still fairly close to where I had it. I can lean the passenger seat forward and I'll have plenty of room to get in there. So that's really what's next on my regular agenda. But the transmission's ready to pick up, which means I need to finish this, figure out all the PCV routing and vacuum on top, put this back together so that I can mate up the transmission and get them back in, and then I'll get back on wiring. So Labor Day's coming up. Got a vacation one weekend, so probably not going to be a lot of progress until after Labor Day, and then I'll hope to get the motor of the transmission back in, start wiring. I'm still hoping for a test fire before the end of the year. We'll see how it goes.